This seminar is brought to you by Gulp.
I'm Captain George Gozdz, host of Time Florida Sportsman, and today's seminar, I'm going to talk to you about matching the hatch. Match the hatch. You hear that all the time. What does that mean? It just means to use the bait that's in your area. Snook and Stewart may not be feeding on the same exact thing that they're feeding on in Fort Myers. I need to know what's prevalent in the area for a bait fish, and I need to use something that resembles that bait. When matching the hatch, size matters. You know, here in Stewart, we did a show where we were fishing the beach for tarpon. They're in glass minnows. We used a smaller profile bait. You know, maybe guys are out there throwing big plugs, you know, or big baits with a big profile. We dropped it down, lightened the color, kind of mimicked that glass minnow, and we were getting bit by tarpon all day on artificials. So when I go to an area, I'm going to look at what's going on in that area. What is the prevalent bait? And I'm going to first choose a bait that the profile resembles the bait in the area. If I'm on glass minnows, I'm going to use a small jerk shad. If they're on a shrimp run, a shrimp hatch, I'm going to use a shrimp. And I'm going to use a shrimp that matches the natural shrimp that are in the area. Or if they're feeding on mullet, maybe I want a bigger plug that resembles a bigger mullet. Or a finger mullet, maybe I'm going to throw a small topwater plug. It all depends on what they're feeding in that area. You also want to take into consideration when matching the hatch the size of the tackle that you're using. So often in situations when guys are tarpon fishing or when snook fishing on dock lights, these fish are feeding on tiny minuscule baits, little tiny minnows. You wouldn't think such a big fish would be eaten on such a small bait, but let's take a fly rod, one of the most successful ways to target these fish. The reason for that is you can present a very small bait effectively to these feeding fish. So the next time you're heading out, take into account what the fish are naturally foraging on and match that hatch. It's going to make you a better angler.